Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to be creating a Python file, and we will also import some modules into that Python file. A Python file is basically a file that has a .py file extension, and usually you can create a Python file by using any plain text editor. Example is Atom. There are many others, but in this video I'm going to be using the text editor called Atom to create a Python file. You can also create a Python file by using an IDE. An IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. An example of an IDE is PyCharm. IDEs have incorporated inside them text editors and also other bits and pieces, including an environment that enables you to test your application. A module is basically a Python file that contains Python statements and definitions. It also contains things like classes and functions. In order for you to use a module, you have to import the module into your project or application. There are different ways to import a Python module depending on whether you want to use the entire module or you want to use components of that module. Say for example, I wanted to import the module called Tkinter, and I want to access all the classes and expose objects from that module. So this is what I will do. I'll say from the module Tkinter, I want to import asterisk. When you add the asterisk to the import, it means you want to import everything inside that module. Another way to import a module is from the module. Say for example, the module name is Tkinter. From the module, you can import specific components. So rather than use the asterisk to import everything inside that module, I can just import what I need. For example, if I need X from that module called Tkinter, I'm just going to import X from that module. You can also import a module just with the word import followed by the name of the modules. For example, if the module is Tkinter, this will import the Tkinter module into your project. You can also import the module and then use it as an alias name. So if I'm importing this module Tkinter and I say as TK, now this TK is just a short name. I could call it X or whatever. What this does is that each time I want to refer to something from that module, rather than say Tkinter dot whatever I'm referring to, I can just say tk dot x. So what that, by using the alias, basically saves you some typing time. That's all it does. I have my text editor open, which is called Atom. So I'm going to create a new Python file. I'm just going to close these panes. So I'll go File, and I'll click on the new file option, and then it gives you this untitled because I've not given it a name. So I'm going to save it into my project directory. So I'm going to do File and then click on this Save As option, and that gives me the location where my project folder is. So this is my projects folder, and I've got other Python files in there. So I'm just going to give this a name. I'm going to call it slideshow.py. Very important you add the .py extension, and I'm going to click on save. And if you look on the bottom here now, this is saying Python, which means that it recognizes this file here as a Python file. The first module I want to import is a module called EtAtools, I'll tell you what this module does. And from this module, I'm going to use a component from that module, which is called cycle. So I'll say import cycle, because I am not using everything from that module. I'm only going to use this cycle. So what this intertool module does, it has functions that you can use to create iterators that enables you to loop through elements. So we're going to be having a list that contains images that we want to be able to loop through the images to get them to display on the slide show. So from this module intertools, we're importing this cycle. The cycle is basically an iterator from the intertools module. The next module we're going to import is the Tkinter module. Tkinter module is basically the module you use to create graphical user interfaces, and it contains so many functions and other tools that you can use. So from that module, I'm going to say import Tkinter. All right, and I'm importing the entire Tkinter module into this application, and I'm going to use an alias. I'm going to say TK. So when I want to use a component of that module, rather than typing tkinter.that_component, I just refer to it as tk.the component I want to use. So that's it for this video. We'll continue building the application in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.